Welcome to Safari Yangu podcast, where we tell our stories authentically, experiences that shaped us, and experiences that continue to shape us. I'm your host, Miss Kimaru, and on today's episode, I am joined by a brilliant young lady, an author, a self-published author at that, an indie author. I mean, I don't know even how to actually describe her journey, but I can't wait for her to share her journey with all of you. Okay. We're joined by Storytime by Ivy, a self-published author. She has actually written so many books. She does children's stories, and her latest installment addition to her books is Guardians of Jamhuri. This book has been hyped online. It's one of a kind actually. Na kama haujasoma, you actually uko nyuma sana. If you love reading, if you've not read this book, then you're failing yourself. And Guardians of Jamhuri is, I don't know, I would let Ivy actually explain it, but it's a fantasy novel that talks about our Kenyan heroes in our own context. And it's a trilogy, 3 books. Ivy, karibu.
Thank you so much for this opportunity. Mm-hmm. First and foremost, you're doing a very good job. Just giving us an opportunity just to share our stories. Because for me, I believe that it's very important for people to see, like, to know the person behind the brand, you know, and our stories really matter. Because once you understand our journey, it's very easy to relate with our product. Yes, thank you so much.
Karibu sana. So I want you to actually tell us who is Ivy before we actually now talk about what you do as an author.
So Ivy is a serial entrepreneur. I really don't like confining myself in one industry. I'm a serial entrepreneur. I'm a consultant. I'm an interior designer. I'm in sports. I'm a wellness consultant.
Ish.
So that's what I've said. I'm a serial entrepreneur, just trying to make ends meet. Yeah, kidogo utaniona marikiti nikitafudikiza matunda. So so let's just say I'm all over. And for me, writing is more of a hobby as opposed to a career.
Nice.
Yes.
Okay. In the last couple of months, I keep, especially when I talk about my books, I keep telling people, hey, come see your Ivy. Yeah, like honestly, I met Ivy through TikTok, where she has actually built a good brand for her books, Storytime by Ivy. You should check her out. And for me, you have been such a big blessing. So I want to actually give you your flowers today.
Thank you.
Because when I was thinking about self-publishing, I was trying to reach out to people to give me information. And we will talk about gatekeeping in this industry. Yeah, so I was trying to look for people to give me information on how to publish. And honestly, it was so hard. So when I met you and then you gave me all these quality information and I was able to publish my books, I was like, yeah, this is the way to go. True. How has that journey been for you? Like what, for example, inspired you to even start writing before we get to a place of now publishing?
For me, it's quite an interesting journey because you know how people normally say, you know, in high school, I was writing short stories.
Yeah.
You know, when I was even in class A, I was 8 years old, I was writing. For me, I wasn't. I will not sit here and bullshit people. I wasn't writing I never dreamt of being a writer. But for me, I really love challenges. I really love being challenged by, you know, something new, a new project.
Yeah.
So what happened was on a random day, I remember I talked to my sister and had told her that I wanted to introduce her kids, now my nieces and nephew. I wanted to introduce my nieces and nephew to the reading culture. Okay. So we went to a bookstore. I don't want to mention the name. We went to a bookstore and I was looking for certain storybooks. You know, I knew the kind of books I wanted them to read. So we used to be browsed through all the aisles. And I couldn't find, because most of the storybooks they had were imported. And to me, I was like, what? What do you mean we don't have books that have representation? What do you have? What do you mean we don't have books that have relatability? So I was like, you know, this is why kids nowadays don't read anymore. Because, you know, for you to engage a kid, you need to not only have a book with somebody that looks like them, but also the content itself. It's something they can relate to. So sisi vitabu za hyena and the hare, he chased the lion and the goat. Like in that context, how does, you know, the kid actually understand what, you know, whatever.
Makes sense.
So again, I love challenges. And for me, I saw a gap. And I was like, you know what? Since I know exactly what I want to teach these kids through storytelling, and since I know the kind of illustrations I want to see in these books, why can't I just write a storybook for them? For them. I was not even thinking about being a writer. I was like, let me just write storybooks, then I give them the books they be reading. And I remember during that time, I had just gotten my kittens, Sumbo and Kapole, and I used to share a lot of their videos online, and people used to comment a lot, you know. And I was like, you know what? Let my first storybook be Adventures of Sumbo and Kapole. And I remember that night I did not sleep. I was now teaching myself how to illustrate, how to write a book. How do I even do it?
Wow.
Mind you, I've never thought of this. Again, I like feeling like I'm being challenged. So me, I'm the kind of person, I'll not sleep until I get it right, you know? So I'm online watching YouTube videos, watching TikToks. How do these people do it, right? And all the videos I was getting is actually people pay others to illustrate for them, and that's actually a very different career. And I was like, who has a 50,000 and 100 G's
I know.
to pay to get a book illustrated? I don't, right? So I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to give up. Luckily, I knew small skills in the line of graphic design. So I was like, since I know how to use Canva, I know how to use these graphics, whatever, let me try using Canva and Canva elements. That's how I started.
Wow.
Because you know the beauty of Canva is that it has very, very nice elements and a variety. So I started there. I did the first book, you know, take this cut, put it here, take this flower. So for you to do, I know when I explain it, it sounds a bit easy, but it's not.
It's not.
You need to have that creativity so that you can make it, you know, come together. So I did that, and so I printed the first copy. So I used to create the story. I print like 4 copies. I take them to my sister's kids. That's how I used to do it,
wow.
right? So I post online. I tell people, this is the book I've done. I'm going to take it to my sister's kids or whatever. Then I take pictures of the kids reading it. And people started asking, what about us? We want to order. I was like, oh, interesting. I can actually sell these books to other people, right? So at first, I was sending them PDF, like the ebook version, right? Then I was like, hold up. That's not making sense. Because again, you know, they can...
Copyright.
Yes,
plagiarism.
yeah. So I decided to just... When I was not printing these ones for my sister's kids, I was like now printing more. If I was printing like 4, I'm like, how many people have ordered? 5, 4, 10 people.
Wow.
Let me print both. So that's how I was doing it. Then I started doing those funny stories, Adventures of Sumbo and Kapole, the brave little Kapole, like that. Stories about my cats. Then I remember, I don't know, I can't remember the exact... Yeah. I've just remembered. So I went to my sister's place and I noticed that Kisha is now my sister's firstborn. And she was struggling with the transition between childhood and preteen. So there was a sense of confusion whereby now she's growing, she's now experiencing all these emotions, and now she's not understanding, right? So I remember I wrote the first emotional wellness book for kids, and it was called Shiko's Journey. And just talking about, you know, in a kid's tone, explain to them, you know, it's okay about now this girl called Shiko who was so used to playing with her brother. Like Isha was so used to playing with Kelani and Kenji, but now she doesn't want anything to do with them. The others are now wondering why she like this. And just ensuring kids understand that you're not being weird, it's okay. Ensuring they understand it's part of growth. This is how you navigate through this phase. And I wrote that book for her. And I remember even Shiko's Journey also mentioned now you're going to start experiencing breast and periods.
Oh, wow.
And for me, that was really powerful. And that's where now everything now slew up mentally. I was like, no, this is the angle I want to go through. I don't want to do adventure stories anymore. I want now to focus on teaching kids about emotional wellness and how to do that, because again, I'm a mental health advocate. So how can I use my mental health advocacy in storytelling? And for me to do that and to transition that into storybooks for kids, I had to do a lot of research in regards to child psychology and to also understand how do I do it in an easy way using a child's tone for them to understand when I'm talking about anxiety.
Yeah.
How do you explain that to a kid for them to understand? So I started doing now such books, and I think I decided, because back in the day when I was doing all these stories for my sister's kids, I used to just do it for them. So I had like so many stories in my laptop that was not even like publishing to the public. It was just for them. I remember before starting not publishing self emotional wellness storybook for the public. I remember one day I was seated in my nephew is called Kenji. He was obsessed with Spider-Man. He was legit obsessed. The clothes, the shoes, the Crocs, everything. And then he was like, Shiko, I want to be like Spider-Man. And I remember I told him, no, Baba, you don't. You don't want it to be like Spider-Man. You, Kenji, the superhero. And to me, I was like, hold up. Which other Kenyan or rather African hero can I refer him to? Like, but we don't have. It's who Wakanda. No, he cannot relate to Wakanda.
That's
like
true.
that.
It's not our version of story.
It's not. Wakanda. It was more futuristic, and it's very hard for kids to relate like that. So I was like, oh, interesting. So that same day, I remember I went home. I went on Canva, and I illustrated this dark-skinned boy who's 8 years old. Kenji was 4 by then. He was 8 years old. He was called Kenji, and he had I illustrated this beautiful hero costume, which was a blend of Kenyan colors and a very beautiful cape. And it was so nice, and just telling a story about a simple boy who got his powers from their ancestors, because again, I wanted to capture our culture. I wanted to really capture our culture. I don't want it to be like, oh, he got his powers from a magic meteorite. No, he got his powers from our ancestors and all that. And I was reading it to Kenji, and he was so happy, telling people, look, this is Kenji the superhero. And to me, that one moment, it was such a full circle moment for me, because that is what I was trying to do. The same time, it was Kelani's birthday. Kelani is my second born niece. And Kelani was obsessed with Sophia the First. Hey, I want my birthday cake to be Sophia the First. I want this pencil pouch. And for me, I felt like, no, because one, Kelani is this beautiful, melanated girl. She's very dark skinned. She's has these big white eyes, very beautiful smile. And for me, I was like, she's idolizing this westernized princess, and she cannot see herself like that. She's going to grow up knowing, for me to be this beautiful like Sophia the First, I must look a certain way. And that's why you find in Kenya we have grown-ass women who are bleaching their skins.
And there's lots of colorism.
A lot of colorism. Even the model industry for kids, they only pick light-skinned girls. Young girls. Why is that? It's because light-skinned people are perceived as beautiful. And for me, that point when now I had to sit down with Kelani, because I always validate a farmer, and tell her, you're so beautiful. Your dark skin is because she is. Trust me. And again, I think my creative juice comes at night, or it was coming when I interacted with my sister's kids, because they are my inspiration behind all those stories. I remember I wrote this story. It was called Kelani the Sparkling Guardian of the Enchanted Forest. It was featuring a dark-skinned fairy princess whose magical power was in her glowing skin. And how she used her power to save the animals in the forest. And me doing that, featuring Nani Kelani as this beautiful princess, that was a full circle moment, because now this kid will not only have the pride that I am featured in this storybook, but it is also
sees herself.
She not only sees herself, but that book will also touch other kids like Kelani out there who will grow up in that confident in their skin. So sadly, I did not publish that book. That was for her, because I felt like that was me to her. I like all these books, even the one for Kelani, for Keisha, I never published them publicly. Those were for them. So now, let's now go back to the emotional wellness part. For the emotional wellness, that's when now I decided to take this passion and use my voice to advocate for kids' mental health through storytelling. And I remember my first title in that catalog is Nduta's Box of Confidence. And it features this beautiful girl called Nduta. Again, representation matters. So Nduta is not Kamzungu. Nduta is a dark skin, and I've ensured I have illustrated Nduta with 4C hair.
Nice.
Yeah, so for me, those small details are very, very important. So it features Nduta, this girl who feels so unsure, who feels so shy, who feels like she's being left behind each and every time. The friends, Gina knows how to skate, the other one knows how to dance, but Nduta is always left behind, Then until this one day, her grandma came over to visit them. And the grandma came with a very beautiful wooden box wrapped in a yellow ribbon. And the grandma was like, this is for you. I'm giving you this box. It's full of many tiny notes inside. Each and every time when you wake up, pick one note and read it out loud. Wow. So now she went home and she was so excited. Just opened the box, started reading the notes, and it was notes of affirmation.
Wow.
So every day she woke up, she was reading the notes, and the notes were like, I am brave, I am beautiful, I am this, I am that, just affirming the hell out of her. And for me, that was so important, because I feel like if I had gotten my box of confidence at that age, I would be very different from how I am. And I don't shy off from saying that my childhood trauma, I see how it affects me to date. And these books are trying to change that narrative, to change that, whereby, we're seeing how right now parents are so busy,
True.
They're so busy with the day-to-day challenges of life. They're so busy with work, with paying bills, with stresses of marriages. They don't have time to show up for their kids.
That's
like
very
intentionally. It's not because they don't want to, it's because it's life. You don't have, you don't have the time to sit down with your child and affirm them and just talk to them about their feelings. So that's why I was like, if I can create that in these storybooks, parents won't have to do that. The book itself, it is changing that kid's emotional wellness. So after Nduta's Box of Confidence, I wrote how now affirming Nduta gave her more confidence, and she was now more braver even in school. She was now showing up even for her friends better. I remember she found her friend crying, and she was like, what's wrong? What's going on? And she was like, now when the friend shared, she was like, hold on, let me show you something. Because now I am now confident. Here is the box of confidence.
Wow.
And to me, I really like that part. It's because now I'm also teaching kids, you can also help your friend. If they're going through something, how can you show up for them as well? Yeah. Whatever has worked for you, teach it to the rest. And now from that, I did another title for a boy version. It's called Baraka and the Big Worry Cloud. According to my own personal research and even observation, boys tend to struggle they don't know how to express the emotions. The worry, Baraka was really struggling with worry and feeling anxious, but he's not telling anybody. So in this story, Baraka carries this big, heavy gray cloud that's following him everywhere. It's the cloud of worry, and it's weighing him down. He's even bending while walking because it's so heavy, but he doesn't understand why is it following me everywhere. It's because he's worrying too much and he's not sharing. The more he's worrying, the bigger it's getting.
The cloud, yeah.
And I remember when now he was just walking home, he passed through the forest and he met this magic owl. And they all asked him, what's wrong, child? You look so weighed down. And Baraka was this, it's because of this worry. It's always following me everywhere I go. And the owl was like, everybody has that. I've seen that cloud with so many people. But don't worry, the cloud shrinks. Let me show you how we can shrink it. And the owl now taught Baraka about now coping mechanisms. And for me, that was very important. Teaching kids that the fact that it's a journey. You don't just nap and the worry is gone. You don't just wake up one day, you're like, I don't want to worry anymore, and now I'm okay. The owl taught Baraka coping mechanisms, breathing techniques, journaling, art therapy, like drawing and all that. And also he told him, talk to somebody you love. Go talk to your mom. And that's what he did. He went and spoke to the mom. He told him, this is what I'm struggling with. I have this cloud following me everywhere.
Yeah.
And it's weighing me down. And the mom was like, I have that cloud too. And again, that's another full circle moment for me, where I said some parents tend to not show up for their kids. And the fact that Baraka's mom sat with him, he did not yell. She did not yell at him. She did not invalidate his feelings. He was like, I get what you're saying. I also struggle with the same too. But I've learned how to shrink my worry cloud. And now Baraka was like, yes, I've also been taught techniques by the magic out, how to shrink and whatever. And they talked and they came up with a coping mechanism with the mom. And the next day when he woke up, the worry cloud was there, but it was smaller. Again, we are teaching our kids that you don't just snap and the worry is gone.
It's gone, yeah.
Still there, but you've just managed how to shrink it. And for me, these stories are also very, very important to me, because I have also added some activities, some questions that the parent can prompt to the kids, just to ask, how do you share your worry? Who do you talk to? Who's that one person you feel free to talk to? Or rather, draw your worry. And for me, that's important. Then now the other title was Nia and the Power of Yet.
Yeah.
Nia and the Power of Yet is teaches kids about resilience. Resilience is very, very, very important. And I saw this with my sister's kids. Kisha doesn't like Swahili at all. She doesn't. And I've seen how she struggles with Swahili. And that's where now I got this topic from, or rather this whole story from. And Nia is the same. She feels like this math is too much. I can't do it. I swear I can't. And I've tried to give it a chance, but I can't. She went home and she was just talking she was just talking in her bedroom, and the grandma heard of her just, alikuwa nanunguna anasema manzemi I can't this man. And the grandma just, come join me. The grandma was just in the sitting room knitting. You see what I'm doing now? Before I learned how to knit this well, I was tangling all these threads. I was really doing a bad job, but I did not give up.
Wow.
I continued until I perfected this craft. So the grandma was like, I did not give up yet. I tried. I did not give up on myself. I tried and I tried and I succeeded. Even you don't give up. And that's why I want to introduce to you to the power of yet. The power of yet is just giving yourself a chance to try and fail and try again and fail until you succeed. So for me, the power of yet is very important, and each kid and even adults, we should also learn about the power of yet.
Actually,
you're not good at it.
Yeah, when I was reading this book, I read it the first time I bought it, and then I was like, it's kind of healing my inner child.
I know.
Because I feel like even as an adult, as you've said, you see these your books, by the way, especially the ones that affirm people. Even as an adult, we go through a journey that sometimes we need to be validated, to be affirmed. So reading something like this, you might think oh, it's for kids. But even for us as adults, we really need these books.
Do you know, funny thing, I got that comment, Juicy, and somebody was like, Ivy, this actually, it was a librarian in a school, and he was like, this book, I have booked you for a reading session for not only the kids, but also for the big kids, because I feel like your stories, they are for everybody. Even for me, when I read it, I feel it deep down, because again, childhood traumas, you know? Like for me, wewe manze, you're failing an exam, you're being chapward, you're not even being taught about the power of it, and you try.
Yeah. Mavik Boko too.
Yeah, what about sitting me down and tell me, yes, I understand you don't like math, you don't like Swahili, but give it a try, you're going to get better.
True.
And we see Nia's story, she tries until now she gets better. And for me, it was also very interesting when I was really emphasizing on trying, and you know what, the kids to see that Nia tried once. No, she tried, she did not work.
And
tried
over
again, and then now it worked.
Mm-hmm.
And then now the grandma was, and then now she went and told the grandma, no, I understand about the power of yet. So that was really, really interesting. Then now from that, now the last title in that catalog is The Courage Compass. The Courage Compass also, it's about a boy called Omondi, Omondi was struggling with courage. He was, those two boys in class, they're very shy.
Timid and all that.
Yes, they don't want to answer questions. They don't want to play outside. They're feeling left out. Until one day he went to visit his grandpa, and in the attic he found this big box. It was full of this old stuff. And for me, there's honestly, I really liked writing that scene, because that's how I was. When I went to my grandma's place, I used to go to those old stuff. Maybe I'm going to find something interesting. And he found a very big golden compass. But it was not the normal compass. It was this magical compass that had prompts.
Oh, wow.
So he was like, something told him, this feels important. Akaeka kwa mfuko. So when he went to school, he's just in class, the compass is in the bag, the compass started buzzing. He's like, okay, why is this not just... Akachukua, he just looked at it. And the compass is saying, speak. It was like prompting him, speak. And now he just raised his hand slowly and he answered the question. And then the compass buzzed again, good job. And for me, that was so important, because every kid needs that compass. They need that push. The compass is not like, please speak. Yeah. Yes or no. No, it's like speak.
It's like speak and it's waiting.
Yes, speak. Then when you do that, you've done a good job. When he went to play, he's still feeling shy to go and like play with the friends. Wake up and, like that, prompting him and pushing him. So again, that also book has like an exercise at the back. So those 4 titles, and there's honest to many people, when I talk about my books, or rather when they see my books, they are like, you have so many books. But for me, it's because I write for both a girl and a boy, and a girl and a boy for diversity purposes. So when I write about Nia and the Power of Yet, can I do because when I did Nia, I wrote the Courage Compass. When I did Nduta, I wrote Baraka. And it's just a very short read, 30-pager. It's not like a novel. And that's why it feels like I have many titles, but I don't. It's because I'm very, very inclusive, and I'm very, very diverse, because I don't want to be writing about teaching girls about confidence.
What about the boy? Very true.
So I really love the diversity, and I'm a very big advocate for gender equality in that diversity aspect, not just empowering the girl child and the boy. You're not even focusing on them.
That's true.
So when I was done with that, now that's now the young readers, the kids 10 years and below. I used to go to a lot of events to market the books, because again, I'm a self-published author. I don't have big budgets to market my books, so I have to do it myself. So I used to go to many events just to push my books. And I remember there was a parent who was like, Ivy, I really, really love your book, but my son is 10 and he's a fast reader. Amezoea kusoma novels.
Vitu kubwa kubwa na vitabu ndogo.
Yes, this book is going to read it in a matter of minutes.
And it's done.
Can you please now write something for like teenagers and fast readers? And I remember that lady told me, you see how you're featuring like our kids, the names, the novel should be the same. Like the Kamaus, the Kawangwares, the playing in the river, the games we used to play as kids, that to give that nostalgia on how kids were. And I was like, oh, nice. And when I was writing the storybook for superheroes for Kenji, let me take you back. I was like, I really want to write not only that one for Kenji, but now it gave me that idea of we don't have Kenyan heroes. So can I write a story for kids that now features Kenyan superhero and create our own Spider-Man and Superman and whatever. So I was like, can I just create our own superhero, Again, I told you, I noticed I'm here telling Kenji to stop idolizing Spider-Man. Yeah. But what else?
What can I tell? The alternative?
Yes, what else? I didn't know any other superhero. So I came up with the concept of, by then it was called Jamhuri. It featured these 4 heroes. No. At first it was Kenji the superhero. Then now I was like, no, I cannot do this because, again, I wanted diversity. I want also girls to feel like they can be superheroes.
They're included,
I wrote not the same version of Kenji the superhero. I did Kelani the superhero.
Oh.
I'm like, okay, I cannot do 2 separate. Again, no. Again, XX cancel both. So Jamhuri came along. I was like, okay, let me now, because again, diversity, let me have two superheroes. So let me have two girls, two boys coming together to protect their land, now called Jamhuri.
Wow.
And I remember I wrote it. It was so interesting. They were fighting this ancient warlock called Mavoko. No, actually, in that storybook, it was called Oloduma.
Eish.
It was so powerful. Guess what? Again, something didn't feel right. I cancelled it.
Oh, wow.
I was like, you know what? I want it to be a series.
Wow.
Book 1, Guardians of Jamhuri, introducing the heroes. Book 2, introducing now each hero, because now there are 4. So now we have Shiko. She was called now Shiko, Guardian of Irumu or something. Guardian of Irumu. I knew Shiko was from the Kyuk culture. How do I feature that? How do I also, like, the magic system, how she got her powers? Right Omondi, right Otieno. Otieno. Actually, Otieno was called Omondi in that story. Omondi, right Imani, and Kip Chir.
Yeah.
I came up, I even designed the cover. I even designed the whole series outline.
Oh, wow.
Guess what? I cancelled it as well.
And this one,
something
it was supposed to be like a storybook for kids.
Yes, for kids, like just the normal ones. Like now this one, like a 30-page storybook.
Okay,
so it was like Guardians of Jamhuri book 1, book 2, Shiko, Otieno. So it was like almost 5 books.
Yeah.
So I think that the reason as to why I felt like it was not making sense was like, which Kenyan parent will go to the store and pick almost 5 books, like, to short stories? I felt like they are not going to do it. So I was like, because I have a lot to say, that is what now I realize. You know, when you're doing a storybook, it's only a 30-page.
Yes, very short.
You're restricted to saying too much. And instead of another book, you know, a series having 10 different books, I was like, something is not feeling right. So again, I cancelled the project. I just closed my laptop in a secure. So there was a folder where I was now putting all the unfinished project. And it stayed there for a whole 1 year. And I remember during the Gen Z protest, so you remember now that lady gave me feedback. I want you to write something for teens.
Yeah.
And I told her, but they have something. It's called Jamhuri, blah, blah, blah. And she was like, let me know when it's done.
Oh, wow.
So I remember...
You had your first client when the story is not yet out.
She really validated me and I felt seen. So when I had my first... when we had our first Gen Z protest, that's when it all clicked, like that, just like that. You see how different tribes, different young people from different tribes coming together to fight oppression, and how they did it with a lot of courage, with a lot of unity. I'm like, that is what I was missing. And then I was like, because I have a lot to say, I don't want to do it in a storybook. Let me do it as a novel. That's when I was like, you know, in a novel, I can even write it in a, like, because me, I'm very, let's just say, I watch a lot of fantasy movies. So I'm very, you know, I want a book that has a lot of action.
It's very descriptive.
Yes, very descriptive. That's the word. So I wanted it to feature that even when you're reading, because for me, when I'm writing, it's a movie in my head.
Wow.
Even when I'm reading a book, when I read this book, for me, because many people read when it's blank, for me, I can visualize the scenes, right? So that is when now everything clicked in my head. Guardians of Jamhuri.
Wow.
And I was like, I knew it was 4 tribe, 1 destiny, and the fight for freedom. Again, I had already written the plot. You remember?
Yes.
So now I was going to the
You're
archives.
now building up.
Yes, so now I'm going to the archives. Yes, there was Mavoko, there was Oloduma, there was these 4 guardians from 4 different tribes.
Yeah.
They are fighting this ancient whatever. So I was like, now in this novel, I want now to introduce our culture. How do I feature our culture, our mythology? How do I do that? So that's when I did a lot of research in regards to writing an epic Kenyan fantasy. Then that was a bit challenging because nobody writes such. Most of the Kenyan books are romance.
Yeah.
They are thrillers. They are fiction about I don't know what. But now the kind of book I was writing, it was a bit different. So I was like, you know what? Let me freestyle. I'm not going to seek inspiration from somewhere. Let me just give it my all. Then we'll see. So I was like, I need not to bring in our mythology. Mythology, Kikuyu, in Kikuyu culture, we have the myth of Wanjiru wa Kirinyaga. Wanjiru wa Kirinyaga is the firstborn daughter of Kikuyu and Mombi.
Yeah.
and she had these powers of the earth. So I'm like, bet Shiko, guardian of Kichakani, got her powers from Wajiro wa Kirenyaga. And she inherited all her powers from her, and it was like a reincarnation of her. And then now the aspect of the tribalism, I was like, I need these guardians to work together. I don't want to have you see how these movies we have this superhero and the villains. No, I wanted this book to feature all of them working together. I didn't want Shiko to be the main hero in this story. I wanted that aspect of unity, how they came together to fight the Dark One. And I really loved how in book one, because again it's a trilogy, how in book one how the characters are introduced, and they're not only introduced from that aspect of action, it's also just seeing the vulnerable side. Like Shiko, she had her doubts, like what do you mean? I remember she asked her ancestor, and her grandma who had passed on in spirit form appeared. Shosho, what do you mean I'm being chosen to be the guardian of Kichakani? I'm just a young girl who sells kitenge in the market with mommy. What do you mean you want me to serve Jamhuri? We have warriors who are well trained, who have machetes, who have spears. Why me? The biggest challenge I have during the day is to choose the best kitenge to go and sell. Then you're telling me to go
and fight
fight, and I'm to top it all, I'm here fighting an ancient evil, something called Mavoko. How? And they were like, don't worry, child, we have chosen you not only because of your heart, but who you are as a person. We don't want somebody with combat abilities and fighting skills. We want you because of the kind of person you are. And Shiko, right there, she was like, I don't know whether you've ever felt that sense when somebody sees you.
They see you,
They really see you, and Shiko felt
and they validate
seen,
you.
and she was like, okay, I really need to snap out of this self-doubting mode. I really need to lock in and save these kids, because Mavoko was stealing kids from the village just to, he was draining the power. He was draining their life form out of them just to boost his power and whatever.
Yeah.
And Shiko was even now guided by their ancestors. And Wajiro wa Kirenyaga told her, for you to win in this battle, you must unite with the other guardians. If you try fighting alone, you'll die. And she was like, what do you mean? No, you want me to be a guardian? Sasa unaniambia go look for other people. Where do I even start? You're telling me to go sijui money from where, sijui who. Now that you have the powers, you're going to sense them. Right? So that's how now she started now sensing them. She had to go to the coast to meet Imani. Imani had also gotten her powers from now Mekatilili Wamenza in this now fiction story. Mekatilili Wamenza had these awesome powers of controlling the ocean. And now her power was now the water element. Shiko's power was the forest and the earth. Then she went to meet Kipchirchir, who got his powers from Quechua Arab Samoy. Again, this is fiction. Even there's no reason I didn't want to dive deep into mythology.
Yeah.
Because the stories are not constant. You're going to read an article talking about this, another one talking about this. So that's why I wanted to just unaguzilie tu juju.
Yeah. And
now tell it in a twist. Our myth with a twist. Yeah, so I know, in school we were taught that Quechua was a seer. So I wanted to also do that. So now for people like Imani, the people like Imani who got now her power from Mekatilili Wamenza, I didn't focus on the ancestor. I focus on
what
Imani.
she could do.
Yes, on Imani and her personality. And even when you read that book, you're going to see how Imani's character shows, and you're going to see even you can tell she's from Coast.
Yeah.
And you can tell Kip is a Kale because of how... I really hope I will not get cancelled by saying Kip ni kichwa ngumu. Hard-headed person. You can see that. I really wanted to capture that. And how Kikuyu women are so bold. They're leaders.
Yeah.
And that is Shiko. Shiko was the leader of that group. Wow. Then we have Otieno. Otieno got his powers from Luada Magere. And Luada Magere, in now Luo mythology, we were taught that his weakness, he had a very strong king. Yes, his weakness was the shadow. But now in this story, that is Otieno's strength.
Wow.
his shadow was his strength. So long story short, for me, this series is very, very important because I'm telling it our own way. Our heroes, they don't have this westernized powers and they are fighting with swords. Even in the book cover, I remember the first book cover, I had Shiko had an armor, she had a sword, and I was like, what am I doing? I'm losing the plot.
Yeah.
So I had to redo
redo
the whole
it.
thing.
Yeah.
I went and did research, which ngao do the Kikuyu use.
Yeah.
I used that ngao, mishale, you know, all these things. And then the beast here, it was a dragon.
Oh,
and I'm like,
really?
Unasikia dragon wapi in
Wapi?
Kenya?
Oh, wow.
So I had, you know, and I really love people on TikTok, how they give really nice reviews. And I remember even the first design that I had shared on TikTok, somebody gave me the idea of using, in African mythology, there was this mythical creatures called Popobawa. Yeah, so Popobawa was, now that's when I went to research how he looked. He was like a shapeshifter. And now in this story, now Popobawa, because in this cover, Shiko is in the dark realm fighting Popobawa. Popobawa was summoned by Mavoko to just distract Shiko so that, she can use all her power choke. So that by the time now they're fighting with Mavoko, she's bit
done.
Wow. But again, the aspect of unity came in handy because she did not fight alone. Yeah, she was fighting Popobawa here, but the others were also behind the scenes, just coming through. Again, it is a series. So book 2 has just launched this month, and book 3 in Feb. It launched in Feb. This book 2, it's just a continuation. So it's not a standalone. So when
it's a trilogy.
Yes. So when you read book 1, it's going to leave you hanging. You'll want to know the story.
The story for book 2.
How it continues. So book 2, I released it in Feb. Then book 3 is going to be out end of this month.
Yeah, and I like the concept of you having it as a trilogy, and the fact that my sister actually finished reading the first installment of the book recently, and then she was like, "Oh, I really need book 2."
Yeah, exactly.
And then the fact that when I've been listening to you and looking at how your journey has been, it's been more about, you're a passionate writer. You write from a point of passion. You write from a point of trying to solve a problem. And also with the kids' books, the fact that you're thinking about Kelani, about Kenji, what's relatable for Kenyan kids. Because these Cinderella stories, that's what we grew up reading, by the way. And the narrative keeps... So for you, it's been the same. So what you're doing right now is trying to change the narrative for Kenyan kids so that they can see themselves in the story.
Yeah.
And that is the most powerful thing I think you've done for kids out here. And also the fact that we've always been watching Spider-Man, Akina Smallville, Akina, I don't know, The Flash. And now we have our own Jamhuri. As in stories we can relate, and the way you drew inspiration from Akina Luanda Magere, Akina, Mekatililo Amenza, that's very powerful.
I know, thank you.
I like that, honestly, because if I feel like for the longest, no one has really taken the initiative to try and Kenyanize these things. Because even now, if you look at the types of books that are also available, Nigerians have really done good work with writing. So there's a lot of stories, but from Nigeria. But now from a Kenyan perspective, again...
Actually, Nigerians are doing an amazing job.
Yeah.
In regards to also featuring their, telling their own story without, drawing it from the Western heroes. Because, sometimes, you'll find Kenyan writers, they write really beautiful books, but you'll find the tone is not our tone.
We borrow a lot.
It's like it's like they're using a westernized tone. And the reason why I really appreciate Nigerian authors, it's because you can tell, it's like Jamhuri, you can tell this is our story, right? This is not something I've borrowed from Harry Potter. I've not, because I really loved Harry Potter, I've not used a scene of a magic system that's not understandable. And I feel like maybe that's why Kenyans don't like writing such kind of books. But even when they do, even with the romance and the thrillers, you'll find we really need to find our voice.
I agree with you.
We really need to find
True.
our voice, and we really need to write books that are a bit relatable. Even if you're talking about like a thriller, a crime scene, stop using FBI kind of.
We don't have FBI, tuko
Stop
tu na
using
polisi wa
FBI.
kawaida.
Yes, even if you're using DCI, like stop describing it like they
As if
use
it's FBI.
FBI. You
Yeah,
know?
we don't have
If
that.
you're using like romance, stop saying this big tattooed man came and grabbed my hair. Stop, bro. You've watched 365 days. That is what you're telling us. Sasa ni Kamau bana hapo nyuma kwenye alikuja hapa
Kamau
kuvuta.
atasema romantic.
Kamau atasema romantic na kuja hapo na nyumba na nyama ya 200. Alikuvuta nywele.
Kakuota. Kwanza Kamau atakupeleka kwa nini kwa buchari aseme katoe rumu.
This book we are going to read, even the romantic ones, the romantasy, Kenyan version. And that's why now you find books like for Juan that you see like a book really did
It's
well
relatable.
because it was relatable.
That's true. Yeah.
And that's when people don't understand. And you know, again, when it comes not to self-published authors, sometimes we also need to be a bit honest with ourselves. Yes, Jakata, you have toiled, you've done a good job. For you believe that. But how will your book be accepted? Because again, the people who buy these books, it's all the validation we need.
Yeah.
How will it be accepted? Is it making sense? Have you written 365 Days of Kenya? Or have you written 365?
Yeah.
Thriller, have you written how James Bond of Kenya did what? And how James Bond of Kenya went to Mount Kenya. He fell from the helicopter. And he landed in Mount Kenya.
It's not realistic.
It's not realistic.
Yeah, I totally agree. By the way, we can decide to write, and I feel like what people are doing right now in the Kenyan scene, they are rewriting that story. Like if we now have others like you and many more to come, do the same thing you're doing now, like changing that.
Yeah.
In 50 years time, or even in 20 maybe, the scene will be very different. Kids will have content they can relate to, content that tells their story. Because I believe like what you were talking about in the context of when you're doing research for Kina Lwanda Magere, there's a lot of articles that are written and your colonial history, it is not us who wrote the history for ourselves, somebody else did. So sometimes it's even harder to differentiate the truth from what is just made up. Yeah, so I think what we are doing right now is now embracing our own stories and writing them in our own voice, which is the most powerful thing.
And you know the saddest part is I remember I was engaging some kids about, now they were like, what is this book about? I was just not explaining to them, and they were like, I asked them, do you know about our ancestor Lwanda Magere? They don't
know.
Do you don't know about Gikuyu and Mumbi and the Kikuyu culture? They don't know.
Yeah.
And for me, I was so shocked, and you know that itself was so sad, because we are going out. That's how now we start off forgetting our identity. And I don't know whether it's a podcast I was watching or it's a clip I saw online, and somebody said we are losing our identity.
That's true.
We are losing our identity because you're going to go on TikTok, you find these people vlogging their day-to-day lives, then you copy that.
When the Kenyans, we are so good with that. We copy a lot of content from Maju and then just replicate the same model.
Yes, we are still mentally colonized.
Wow.
Yes, we are still mentally colonized, and I feel like we need to have individuality, whereby how can I tell my story with my own voice? And that's why I really wanted, even if I did not really dive into our culture like that, I wanted it to be there, so that even when the kids read, they're going to be curious. Oh, Lwanda Magere was like this. Oh, his weakness was like... They're going to be curious, you know?
And
they're going to research. And even when I'm doing like book readings with kids, I challenge them. After this, go and research about it. And if you cannot even find articles, purpose to know how do these cultures navigate, blah, blah, blah. Like, how are they surviving? How are they... And, you know, all these things.
Wow.
Yes. Yeah.
That's interesting. And now, okay, as she said, let me just remind people, the books are out, the first and the second installments of Guardians of Jamhuri. Before we even continue, where can people find your books?
So for my books, So no, there are two versions. I have the special edition, this one that have like the sprayed edges. Then you get like a signed copy and some other beautiful freebies. You can get that via me directly. You can order online at Storytime by Ivy on Instagram and Storytime with Ivy on TikTok. I'm going to change that, by the way, to Storytime by Ivy all over. But if you feel like it's okay, you just want a normal simple copy, you can get them at Nuria Bookstore in CBD, Dahari Bookstore at the River. You can also get them at Kibanga. You can also get them at Somanami. All these bookstores, they have a website. So you don't have to go all the way to their location. You can just order online and they can deliver to you. And if maybe you're watching this and maybe you're a teacher, you're a librarian, you want to introduce these books to your school, I offer book reading sessions, like storytelling sessions. I can come, we form like a nice book club with kids, we discuss the book. You just have to stock it in your libraries, then I'll do that at no charge. Wow. I'm going to share my contact information for that service as well.
Wow, that's really powerful. And you have partnered with so many bookstores. I think accessibility is important.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about you being an indie author. Like, what has that journey been for you, because you're self-published?
Yeah. So let's first explain to the viewers, because many people, I've come to realize many people don't know the difference. When you go to a bookstore, you just see a book, you think the process is the same.
Yeah,
it's not.
True.
There is traditional publishing, and there is self-publishing, which is now what she's referring to, indie publishing, like independent publishing. So for traditional publishing is whereby I approached a publishing company and I tell them, hey, this is my manuscript. I wrote this book. I want to submit it to you guys for review. Then once they say, okay, then give us the manuscript, you're going to review and get back to us. Get back to you. Once they review and they like the book, the manuscript, they are going to sign you. Once you're signed to a publisher, they are going to edit your book for you, because again, you've presented it as a manuscript. It's not edited, it's not formatted, it's just plain like that. They're going to edit it for you, they're going to format, they're going to do the design cover, like come up with this concept, turn it into a book. They are going to also register like ISBN, the copyrights, everything. You're not going to pay a single cent, it's free. They're not going to pay anything. You're not going to pay anything.
Yeah.
However, here's the catch with that. Once you do all that, before we get to the catch, once you do all that, you're going to sign under them. It's like a record label. You see how musicians sign, then now they normally get royalties. It's the same thing. So you're going to be getting royalties, either annually, quarterly, or monthly, depending on the agreement you have with them. So this book, if you present your manuscript and whatever you wrote, you want... Shiko is the main character. She's from Kichakani. Kip is blah, blah, blah. They're going to tell you, they have the right to change that. They tell you, Ivy, we don't want Shiko to be the main character. We want Kip. We don't want this scene. We don't want this person to do this. They can change the whole script and the whole plot of the book. Because again, they have done market research. They know what moves, what sells. They can even make Kip and Shiko get married because people really love and romanticy and whatever. And for you, you do not want to feature any of that. But again, you're signed to them. So they have the right.
A bit of,
Again, these books, you see this page here, when you see a book that has copyright, that means the author owns the copyright. If you get a book, just read who owns the copyright to the book. Mine, I own my copyright, right? But if I'm signed by a publishing company, they own the copyright to my book, of my book rather.
Yeah.
They own everything.
Wow.
They own the entire series of the book, not just one, everything. And this book, they can decide to have an animation adaptation of this book.
A movie too.
A movie too. And because I gave away the copyright, I don't have claims to anything.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
So people don't understand that. When you look at it from a place of, I don't have a budget. Publishing is hard. oh, editing,
Yeah.
you're going to be like, oh, you're going to be in a hurry to publish because you're going to see your books in Textbook Center, in all these big places, in all these big distributions.
Yeah.
But again, at what cost? There are people, like for me, these books are like a passion project. Again, this is not my career. This is not my bread and butter. So I have an emotional connection to this book. So now just imagine Guardians of Jamhuri is, whatever, changed to a different context. But there are people who are not, like there's some others, like who are not emotionally attached.
Yeah.
For you, this is business. You want to
like,
make money.
Let me write.
If you
Give me
want
the
to
money,
change
that's
Shiko to
it.
Kamang, do it.
Yeah.
If that's what sells, do it. Okay, so there's that part. Again, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying it's not for me. Okay? If you want to go that route, do it. If you feel like that's what you want to do, well and good. If you feel like it works for you, well and good. It's easy. It's fast. They market your book heavy because they have big budgets.
And good distribution systems.
Good distribution systems. Like a good example, let me now explain so that you can see how hard it is. Although I'm here raving to you girls how my books are very good.
Yeah.
Getting them to Textbook Center, you need to break an arm and a leg. It's not easy as people think. Textbook Center prioritize publishers. They go work with a publisher because they know the quality of that book is top notch. It doesn't have any issue. It's the best, right?
Wow.
But now for self-published authors, you're going to find Textbook Center asking me for 5,000 copies of my book. Pesa iko wapi?
Yeah.
Kuchukua loan.
By the way,
You see, kuna hizo
so it's a bit
setbacks.
limiting. That's the con. Yeah.
So for them, getting access to people like places like TBC, it's very hard. But we are very grateful for bookstores like Nuria, like Dahari, like Somanami, who are now opening doors for self-published authors without any discrimination. They are opening doors for us. They are holding our hands. They are promoting our books. Like the Harry bookstore goes even for events to promote Kenyan authored books only.
Wow.
And it's not because she doesn't have other books in her bookstore. She just promotes Kenyan authored books.
That's amazing.
And for them, they have really, really helped us shine. So now let's talk about self-publishing. Self-publishing, again, I've said there's a very big difference. And then I've also forgotten to add that there's self-publishing, traditional publishing, and hybrid. So self-publishing is whereby you do everything that I've described in traditional publishing. Marketing, formatting, editing, book cover design, everything. It's all on you. Printing. And I'm not gonna lie, it's a bit, not even a bit, it's very, very, very challenging. And it requires a lot of resilience, and it requires a lot of just seeing what other people are doing, what works, networking with other authors, which printer are you using?
Yeah.
Who illustrates your book? Who did your cover design? How much did you pay? How much commission are you paying the bookstores? It's very good to know such kind of information.
That's true.
But unfortunately, and sorry to say, and it's a bit sad that people don't like sharing.
Just gatekeeping.
People gatekeep a lot. People gatekeep a lot. And I've never understood why. Because the industry is big.
Yeah, the cake is big for everyone.
It's big for everybody. We are not competing. You have a different genre. Mine is different. And we can, and if all others work in synergy, we can really, really penetrate this market really well. We can be then like the Nigerian authors.
True.
But for us, we don't even want to share printers. Me, I'm here paying this amount, and maybe you are paying cheaper and you don't want to tell me. So, like, let me give you an example with my books. Like, when we started this conversation, I told you I taught myself how to illustrate. So, luckily, I don't pay illustrators. So, illustrators charge. I don't want to name prices, but they vary with the project.
That's true.
Illustrators charge. And if you're doing like a novel, this cover design, you're going to pay.
Yeah.
All this madoido, you pay, right? But now for me, I do the cover design. I've taught myself. Because again, I don't want my hobby to feel like it's now digging too much into
investment.
my pocket.
Yeah.
Yes. I don't want to feel like I'm here investing 100 G's in my book cover design. And again, will I, the return on investment is like nil. So I didn't know how to do that. I was like, let me teach myself everything. I taught myself editing. I taught myself formatting, the feel and look of the paper. I did research. How do I want my papers to look like? The quality. I was even just discussing with her about the quality of ink from book 1 to book 2. And she was like, I don't see it. It's because for me, I have taught myself these things and I know what quality looks like and what poor quality looks like, right?
You can tell the difference.
Yes, and sadly enough, I didn't have anybody to guide me. I didn't have anybody to hold my hand and to be like, this is where you can go, this is how you can do it. I did everything alone, from ISBN to talking to the people in that office, because in Nairobi there's a lot of brokers.
Yeah.
There's a lot of brokers. I don't know whether you're the one who told me somebody had charged you 5,000 for ISBN. Or was it copyright?
Copyright was 2K and copyright is free.
There's a lot of brokers. And then you're going to find people marketing themselves. Our services are ISBN, book printing, copyright at 20,000.
Others are pretending to be publishers.
Not even book printing. That's now a bit expensive. Like all these other things. And then they're calling themselves a publisher, and they're not a publisher, they are printing.
They're
company.
printing.
And that's a very big difference.
Yeah, very true. Very true.
I don't, but I've never understood why they do that. But again, lazima kila mtu akulie. So,
kila mtu akomboka.
Yeah, so for me, nobody assisted me in anything. Everything is self-taught. Trial and error. I wish I had the bad copies. Let me just show people, it's good to be vulnerable.
Yeah.
And I don't know whether the camera can show you this book. Before it gets to a good quality, you're going to get many bad qualities.
Bad qualities, yeah.
Like the color of this book, the cover is off from this copy. And for you to get there, you're going to do a lot of trial and error. You're going to find, when I had the manuscript, the font was okay. But now that it's printed, it's too small. Or maybe it has been binded, so now when people are reading, they're doing like this,
Yeah.
So those are things people don't understand. Or maybe I missed a typo. I spelled he instead of her. Oh my God, people will see. Those are the challenges we go through. Before a book gets to that shelf, I think
work.
at home I have almost 20 bad copies.
Of Jamhuri?
Yes, error.
Oh, wow.
Error. The cover is bad. The font was bad. There was this, there was that. People need to understand it's a learning curve. Your first copy will be wrong. Your second, your third, your fifth will be okay. Don't give up.
True.
Again, why are you doing what you're doing? Are you doing it for a quick buck? Are you doing it for passion? Are you doing it to change a narrative? Why? Ask yourself that question. That will determine a lot. But if doing it for money, it's going to discourage you by the first name.
You'll be like, 20 copies, bad
20
ones.
copies, that is how
that
much
I can't even sell.
the cost of production.
Yeah.
Then you go to a certain bookstore asking for 70% commission out of a book.
My Lord.
Let me tell you something. People, and I remember I had gone for another interview and I said, when you go to a bookstore, please ask for the Kenyan authored books. Buy that copy. If you don't want my book, if you don't want Helen's book, buy the next author. Because we go through a lot. And also ask, is it self-published? Don't even ask it. You can tell. Because traditional published, it's
They'll
written.
have something
You're going to see
somewhere.
their logo or whatever.
Yeah.
Just check. Buy the one that's self-published. We write good stories. We just don't have a big market yet.
True.
Yes,
the problem yet.
We don't have a big market yet. So the challenges are there. And the cost of printing, again, I did not know somebody to hold my hand.
Yeah.
I did all the research. The first printer I got was charging crazy money. But again, where would I have referenced and know the different prices? Nowhere.
And I think that's the difference between you and me. Because I had you to hold my hand.
Exactly. I didn't have anybody.
Because my books from the word go the very
same
first
printer,
print,
yeah.
same printer. You gave me the contact. I just went there. I was like, I want a book. You see, I went with Nia and the Power of Yet. I was like, you see this book?
Yes.
I want my book exactly like this one.
Yeah.
And then from the very first book, that's why you're talking about gatekeeping. People should not gatekeep this information. Because from my very first issue of that book, hakukuwa na issue yoyote. Even if there was errors, it might be errors from my end, but not typos, but not from the printer. Hey, that's actually a big deal.
Let me tell you something. Let me even now tell you, like me, my journey has been crazy. The first printer that I had gotten, and you know, for me, again, I had done research, so I knew the specs of the kind of book I wanted. So I knew I wanted a cover that's 300 GSM. I wanted the inserts to be art paper, like 100 or 120 GSM. I wanted it to be glossy, so that it can be waterproof.
Yeah.
Because you know, we're dealing with kids, and the way entire unambia storybook tomorrow it's torn.
It's torn, yeah.
Alimwangilia chai. So I wanted that book where it doesn't get torn easily. It's waterproof. Even when chai mwagikas, it's not spoiling the quality of the book at all. It's not getting ruined. So I done all that research. So I knew the specs. So I used to go to a printer. I'm like, this is the type of book I want. The inches is this by this. These are the specs. This is the quality of paper I done that research. Do I know the prices? Have I compared different market prices?
No.
I was paying a big buck for only one copy.
Oh, wow.
I didn't know. Let me just give a vague price so I know people can understand. A copy, but those are not the exact pricing. I'm just giving a vague example. A copy, storybooks, we are charged per page number. That's how we are charged. Okay? So this is the cover. They don't count. The cover is different texture from the insert.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So our books are back to back. Right? So now they're going to count. This is one, like that. And then they're going to come here, katikati, because this is one paper. They hold it like this is one paper. So how many papers are they going to use when like this, when it's straight?
So if it's 30, it's 15.
Exactly. Because it's back to back to back to back.
Yeah.
So they're going to charge you per print, like that, per page, right? So normal, let me give you an example. If now like normal market price, it's like 10 bob, which is not, but I'm just saying, if it's like 10 bob, that person, or rather that company was charging me 30 bob.
Oh, no.
Did I know any better?
No.
Did I have any reference to go elsewhere? I didn't. I was like,
God.
getting a single book like this was costing me 700 bob production.
Wow. And it's
At
such
the
a
end.
small book.
And it's such a small book. It was costing me almost 600, 700 there. And I was like, this is not sustainable.
How
This
will
is
you
not
even
sustainable.
price it to sell
I
it?
cannot sell it. So I did a lot of research again, tarmacking, going to different printers just to see whatever. So I got another one online, and now that's the one that we normally use nowadays.
Yeah.
And he was so nice. They were very affordable, very quick. If I placed an order right now and tell him I want this Baraka copy, I want 20, 50 pieces, or 50, he's going to do it. And today I'm going to get the copies. They're very quick, very professional.
Wow.
But again, you need to know what you want when you're going there. Don't go there, I want you to print a book. And which, you see, this one,
True.
our books, even when you see, help me with your book, when you see our books are very high quality, right? So you need to understand the specs. Which kind of book do you want? That's why Helen went with Nia and the Power of It and showed the printer, this is the kind of book I want. So if you want to print, be it a novel, be it whatever, go at least with a copy and have a clear mind. Also do your research, you know, and then don't get discouraged by gatekeepers online. Helen met a few gatekeepers. Did she give up?
No, I did
she
not.
continued to ask
you
for
keep
help.
asking.
You know? And let me pose a question. Did you ever, I think it was last year when you published, the whole of last year, did you ever think you were going to publish your first book last year?
No, not at all.
Right?
When the year began, at the end of the year, I didn't think I would be self-published or even have something like kids are reading, sijui in America, in where. Honestly, no. But by the end of the year, once I wrote the book and the wheel started spinning, and I reached out to people and even knew, that's when I was like, oh.
Yes, I can actually do
this. It was quite the
easy.
roller coaster. Yeah, and I was like,
you can do this.
You can actually do it, yeah.
And then that's why I've asked that question is people need to understand, or rather people need to know that the fact that one person has not shared or is not willing to help, it doesn't mean that your dreams, you shut off your dreams and forget about it. Continue searching. Like, me, I believe in destiny helpers. Big time. And that's why I don't get keep. Because at the end of the day, if I refuse to share my printer's number, I refuse to help.
Still printing.
I refuse to like, you tell me, oh, I like how you illustrate my book. Can you please help me? There's somebody who asked me how much I charge, and I'm like, I don't charge because I'm not a professional illustrator. But ukidecide kuninunulia chai ya kusema thank you, I'm not going to say no. Again, we are helping each other. The industry is too small. So if Mimi, I kanyagia your blessing, I kanyagia this other person's blessing, so I just want to shine alone. Come on, that's a bit mean. So that's why I'm saying, because I get a lot of DMs on TikTok. Oh, I've always wanted to write a book, but I don't know how to start.
Yeah.
I know whenever you get such questions. And it's sad. People are like, oh, I don't even know how to market, or rather a new author is trying to navigate the market. I think we have formed a WhatsApp group with a few authors, indie authors, and I ensure all of them, I have introduced them to my printer. All of them, I have introduced them to the bookstores. True or false?
That's very true.
Because
you're such a resource.
Yes, because
thank you actually.
Because for me, I'm a firm believer of working in synergy. Again, my book is not the same as this one. This one is very different. This one is an adventure storybook. Mine are for emotional wellness. We are nowhere. We are not in competition. But if we work together, me, Helen, the other author, our good friend Mercy, who does French storybook, another good friend of ours called Nyakeo, who does short stories. If we come together as a collective and present as a united front, I ensure that her books at Nuria, her books at Tomanami, they're all over where my books are. When we go to schools, we present a catalog. These are the books we have, because we want schools to have Kenyan authored books. But if I go to a school and I'm like, oh, it's just me, I don't know any other people, that's mean. And you know, what I always say is, you might present to be such a noble person, such a good person, but God knows what in your heart. And if you have a dark heart, then kwenda huko. But at the end of the day, but at the end of the day, you need to help your fellow colleagues and authors.
Yeah.
And,
true.
And it's not only even about being an author. What if my work is to I do crochet, these very nice crochets, and Helen here does very nice chondos, right? We can come together and go to a artisans market.
True.
And since the table is like 10,000 or 5 or 6,000 and I cannot front that money, we can share that cost and present our products. That's how you grow, working together. How can we synergize our efforts and like we come together? But if you want to just push alone, let's see how far we come. You're going to get. Because it's a bit difficult. It's a bit difficult, yes.
That's very true. And honestly, you have... this gatekeeping really bothered me at first. And also, I like the fact that for you, you don't gatekeep. And I feel like more people need, this is information that more people need, because there's so many people who are sitting on stories and maybe they just don't know where to get started. And as you say, it's self-publishing. As long as you know like who to go print with, and copyright is free, ISBN is just like 1500, I feel like you're already good to go. That's quite the story.
Yes, it's also in regards to like now novels, the only thing I'll urge people is to get a professional editor.
Yes.
Because that's the only thing that can hinder you from publishing. Because again, you don't want to publish a book that has multiple errors and it's not making sense. Just get a professional editor, or get a tool to help you edit. Nowadays, things are a bit simpler. Get a tool or get an editor, whatever works for you.
Makes sense.
Then now we have the hybrid kind of publishing.
Oh yeah, we didn't talk about that.
Hybrid is a bit now, it's like now both of them together. Hybrid, you remember in traditional publishing, they own the copyright.
Yeah.
But in hybrid, you can now talk about it. You'll be like, hey, I'm going to pay for blah, blah, blah. Then now they're not going to take, now the work will be just to distribute your book. And the copyright is yours.
Yeah.
So that's when it's a bit flexible. And they really, really work with a lot of self-published authors who don't want to be signed. So they don't sign authors.
Makes sense.
So that was a bit accommodating for yani walitufikiria, which is really nice. Yeah.
And now you've built a big brand online, Storytime by Ivy. Like, for example, we've talked about even most of your sales coming through TikTok. How has building this community been like for you, and leveraging social media?
Actually, that's really interesting. Funny thing, I was not really pushing on social media prior to the launch of Jamhuri. I was not really into TikTok or anything.
Yeah.
Because again, I was not still trying to decide whether I want to do this full time or just as a hobby and just give out for free. But now I decided to get serious, and also now started using tools like AI to help me animate characters and make like fun clips.
Yeah.
That's when I started seeing some sense of traction, some sense of growth. My account grew from, I think, within a month, like 200. I had 200 followers, and right now we're at 780. It's because the engagement has changed. And I remember when I did a pre-order campaign for book 1, I got more than 40 orders from TikTok only.
That's amazing.
40. And these are strangers. I don't know them. And actually nobody in my life like that knows me personally pre-ordered. All these people are just strangers who really love the story, and I really appreciate them to date. And they have built that community, and everybody who has read book 1, they're like, Ivy, I hope book 2 will be talked about. They have the suspense. And even like you were saying, like your sister, she's really anticipating to see book 2. And I really love how social media has that tight-knit community. They really root for you and for your success. And they can even see how hard you're working. So I've been really trying to now do more of content. And again, I do faceless content on. Actually, the people who are going to see this and they follow me, they'll be like, "Oh, kumbe."
Yeah.
So I do faceless content on TikTok, and how I do it is I have now like Shiko, Guardian of Jamhuri. Like I have her character, so I use AI to like animate her, and maybe now tell Shiko, make Shiko say blah, blah, blah. So now Shiko is there now saying, guys, order Guardians of Jamhuri. And Shiko is the main character of the book. Let me just explain. This character, I animate her to talk and market this book. That's how
and you have done an amazing job with that. Because and now let's actually talk AI. You've leveraged AI in such a big way. And the people who are still, especially who are still lagging behind, they're not leveraging AI, and it's here to help us. What would you tell such a person?
I'd tell them, I get why people are like, oh, AI, don't promote AI, don't do this, but it's here to stay.
Yeah.
It's like how
things will only get better.
It's like how Facebook started. Oh, don't download Facebook. It's going to steal your contacts and steal your bank account.
And now here
money.
we are, people getting monetized on
Let me
Facebook.
tell you, what I can tell people is that if you're not using it or leveraging it to make money or to boost your work, be it books, be it whatever work you're doing.
Yeah.
Even, again, if you're doing these very nice crochets or you're doing chondos, how can you use AI?
You can create a model.
You can create a model. You can do product shoots. A very nice cute background. Why are you going for photo shoots again? Why, you can create a scene whereby you've placed your chondo here, you're prompting AI, create a nice Afrocentric background. Pap! You have a very realistic image. So, I'm urging people, just use it. Because again, you're fighting a losing battle. You're here saying, AI, I don't want anything AI content. I've been seeing a lot of this conversation online about AI billboards. And AI these. Why are they using billboards? They need to pay models. The company is trying to cut cost. Wewe Shindapuki complain about paying models, and they are going to continue doing it because that's the new way
to do things. Yeah.
To do things. Why would you pay 2 million, 3 million of to shoot a campaign or that whatever, and you can use AI to do like a photo shoot.
And especially if you don't have the budget.
And if you don't have the budget, for me, I get, that's why I've said I get what people are saying, but let's move with the trend. And then again, people need to understand, for me, what I really don't like is how you're seeing these very cheap AI-generated billboards. It looks bad. For me, I really don't.
They should put more effort.
Yes, they should get like realistic kind of whatever. But I'm rooting for it. Like, if you're not embracing it and if you're not using an AI tool to better your career, then what are you doing?
Yeah.
Why are you going to a studio and paying product photo shoot 30,000 for a single product, whichever products they do? And you can use AI to actually do it. Teach yourself. Like all these things that I'm doing here or I've been doing, they're self-taught. But my book cover design are not AI generated. Don't get me wrong. But I use AI to guide my work. But this cover, again, I use Canva. I don't use ChatGPTs and the like. But they have really, really helped me.
Wow.
In like the character design. Ingekuwa kitambo, people, I would have gotten an artist to draw Shiko. And that artist would have charged me 100,000 to paint this girl. This girl, mind you, I'm a self-published author with zero budget.
Yeah.
This girl only, utaskia, this girl, 500, 50, like 100K. If you want me to put this shield, 20. And mind you, I have all these titles.
Yeah, there's so many actually. Yeah, ingekuwa expensive.
So that's what I'm saying. If you have the money,
that's okay.
That's okay.
But if you're working without a budget, then learn.
If you have 100 G's, get that artist to draw that nice girl, to draw Shiko for you, to paint that book for you. But for me, again, this is not my career. I don't want, or rather, I cannot risk to invest heavy in such a book. And I can use that money for other things. Like, I don't know whether I mentioned, but I have a charity drive, a book drive, where I normally donate my books to the less fortunate communities, like children's homes, schools. And last year, we managed to donate 500 copies.
Wow, that's
good.
And
instead of now paying somebody 50,000, 100,000 for a cover, see, I'd rather invest that money to this charity drive and ensure all these kids have storybooks.
Yeah,
again, if you want, do what makes your heart happy. But if you are self-published author with zero budget and you want to publish but you don't have any funds,
learn a skill.
Go to AI. Let it teach you how to do it. Take your laptop. Teach yourself how to illustrate. Also something about AI that I don't like, and it really pisses me off. I don't like these cheap-looking book covers, AI generated. Don't go to ChatGPT and say, generate for me a book cover that's blue and red, period. No, that looks cheap.
Put in some effort.
Yes, it looks cheap.
Learn
it looks
to prompt.
Generic. It looks effortless. And I kid you not, AI generated covers are very easy to. And I don't know whether you've ever seen and you're like,
Yeah, AI.
you know?
Yes,
So
yes.
so if you're using, again, don't use them to generate. Use them to teach you how to create a book cover.
Wow.
Like for me, this cover itself, I think I'm going to do like a behind the scene on how like I
You worked
generated
on it, yeah.
And then you can hire people like Kimaru here. She's a very good illustrator. She can illustrate her
Yeah.
book. You can hire people like us, or she does training. If you don't want to hire her, she can train you how to do it,
illustrate,
and
yeah.
how to use AI to teach you how to do this thing. She doesn't go to ChatGPT and say, create for me a boy looking behind with the ant. No, this is how she does it. How does she put this butterfly here? She's going to train you. Yeah. So what does it feel like? Like, oh, where will I start? Everybody's gatekeeping. Teach yourself. Nobody's there to help you.
That's true. Wow. Amazing. That has been quite the journey for you. And I'm really proud of how far you have come. And it's quite inspiring to see a young woman with so many titles and putting your work out there so that kids and people can actually relate to it. And the inclusive nature of your work, I actually admire that. I remember there was a time you were telling me, I think you should also write a book for girls. Yeah, so that's amazing, honestly. What's that one thing now, as we conclude this episode, you'd want to tell maybe an upcoming author, maybe who is looking to publish, whether independently or even through a publisher?
For that person who's looking to, actually for everybody online who reaches out to me or to her, or anybody in general who wants to be an author but they don't know how to start, they don't know where, I'm going to say one thing. Reach out to us. We will guide you. That's all. Just reach out, either Helen or myself.
Yeah.
We are going to guide you. We are going to help you with that book from start to finish. And we are going to ensure your book is in all these bookstores. So don't sleep on that idea. Don't sleep on that concept you have in mind. You see that book you're writing since you were in high school. Ebu enda ukatoe cobwebs tulete.
I agree.
Yes, so that's what I'll tell them, because I feel like many people, again, they tend to get discouraged a lot from gatekeeping. From now, the people who are gatekeeping, oh, you're inboxing these authors, you're inboxing Ivy,
Yeah.
you see her on TikTok, you're asking her a question.
And she's not
And
giving
she's
you
like,
feedback.
"Sikwambi." Don't give up. We are going to show you even how to market that book and how to commercialize on that talent that has been collecting dust. With no gatekeeping, with no ill intent, and with no greed. Because that's another thing people tend to do. They take advantage of these upcoming authors, like that person who wanted to con you the money for copywriting.
And it's free.
ISBN, and it's free. Me, I was in a group. Somebody was told ISBN is 5,000, I was like, hey, kila mtu ako kazi, let me just keep quiet.
And it's only 1,500.
Yeah, so for us, we are not going to do that. Sababu, tumepitia hapo. And we know what it takes.
Yeah.
We know what it takes. We know the hustles and bustles of ensuring you have a very nice, beautiful, finished product. And yes, that's all I can say.
Wow. And what is the one thing you would want to tell the younger self, the younger Ivy, looking back?
Looking back, I'll tell her, like, not to, how do I say this in, like, without getting too deep and without crying.
Oh.
What I'll say is, you got this, and the sky is not the limit for you. What I say by that, or rather what I mean by that, is people tend to say the sky is the limit, but it's not. You can go all the way to the galaxies, to the Milky Way, to, the universe is endless.
Yeah.
So, the universe is endless. The sky is not the limit for you. That's what I'll tell her. Because when I was a kid, I was very curious, very, I want to do this, I want to do this. Yeah.
Wow.
But now, because I did not have someone to tell me about the power of yet and Ruka's box of confidence.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
I'm happy to have hosted you here. Thank you for sharing your story. It's a very inspiring journey, and I hope young people out here and even young women, and everyone else anyway, is inspired to actually get started on their dreams, even if it's not writing any other dream that people are sitting on or maybe holding themselves back. It's their time to shine, and they should go for it. So thank you for inspiring us.
Thank you so much for having me at Safari Yangu. You're doing such a good job.
Thank you.
And people, again, they need to see the behind the scenes and to learn that it's not, people...
It's not easy.
People see like somebody doing something, they think it's... They woke up, it happened. No, it's quite hectic.
Yeah.
And thank you so much for the good job as well.
Karibu. And you can find her on all social platforms at Storytime by Ivy. Yes, tafadhali follow her journey. And also, the most important thing you can do for Ivy today or any day is ordering her copies, especially directly from her. How can they make that order?
They can just online. Just when you go to Storytime by Ivy, just let me know you're looking for which book for which age. Because again, my catalog is a bit wide.
Yeah.
So I can recommend a book for a teenager and for the young ones as well.
Wow. Okay, thank you so much again. Until the next time, I've been your host, Miss Kimaru. Bye.